pray to God they rather tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now a better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. No more remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, dip about my face, wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a call NASCAR. My solo no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after any of you feeble blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, dip about my face, wearing that monkey, not that might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money, get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money.
What's good?
Get some money, get some money.
Who with me?
Get some money, 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 get some money.
Where we at with it?
Get some money, get some money.
Who with me? What's good with everybody? Welcome to the Wired Live conversation show, whatever you want to call it. Can I get a mic check? Can I make sure we doing good? Can I make sure the volume is good on everything? Can I get some help from the family? Can everybody help me out? Can somebody let me know? Yeah, we good, we bad, we indifferent, we separated, we good. What's happening? How everybody doing? Miss Pittsburgh said, let's go. A1. Thank you, Roz. I appreciate you. We good? Thumbs up. Roz says, what it do, Wyatt? What's good with everybody? Yeah, Miss Pittsburgh says, in the building and the mic sounds good. Unfortunately, Miss Pittsburgh, I think y'all gonna take a loss tonight against them Cleveland Browns. I don't like rooting for Cleveland, but I'll root for them when it comes down to the Steelers. Unfortunately, I just, I don't know. I don't really rock with them Cleveland Browns. I don't rock with those Cleveland Browns in no kind of way. Excuse me, let me fix a light. I got a light going in that's messing me up. Not quite sure why it's doing that. If that don't work, it just don't work. I'll go on. My apologies, fam. What's good with everybody? It didn't work. That's okay. Excuse that light in the background. It's veering off of something that I have no control over at this moment. I'm going to get right into it. I don't have all day. We're going to get into I'm going to watch the game tonight. Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. I don't know who the home team is. It don't really matter to me. But it's a conference game for my Cincinnati Bengals. So I have to consider whoever loses is good for my Cincinnati Bengals. And for those bandwagon Bengal fans, it only took 2 losses for y'all to go back to the stable of negativity. Keep y'all asses over there then. That's all right. It's cool. Keep y'all asses over there. We don't need you no way. As soon as they start winning again, they're going to start that Bengal shit. They'll be hollering, who they? Who they, who they, who they? They'll be hollering all that shit here in a minute. Let me get into something real fast while I got a few people here. So y'all can either move on with your life or stick around and hear a different, version of what's going on. It's real funny to me how motherfuckers, excuse my language, but there is a parental advisory tag on the screen here, as you can see. Hey, Rod, let me say this, bro. I don't know how to send the notifications out. I think that's something that you guys have to do. Like, you have to go into your system and say, this notification on Riot comes on or something. I've gone into my notification screen and I don't know how to do that. Like, I go in and it's saying, it's asking me what I want to be notified, 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 be notified. Let's try it like this. Is it a little bit better? Can y'all hear it a little bit better? How's the mic? Can you hear me a little bit better now? Okay. I had to switch the mic frequency over. Said it's better. I'm going to try this again, if you don't mind. Give me 2 ticks. Let me try this over because I don't want to lose my train of thought either. Hold on 1 second. To be notified, 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 to be notified. All right, we're gonna go with this. Is this better now? Is this one better? Appreciate you, David. Appreciate you. Nah, I'm not rapping. All right, we good now? It's good? All right, so what I had to do is I had to switch the mic frequency. I'm still learning. I'm still learning all of this. Crystal Powell, what's good? Yo Underwood, what's good? Andre, what's good? David Herring, what's good? Brenda Early, what's good? Brenda Harris, what's good? Roz, what's good? I'm just going to say what's happening to everybody before I go on in here. I might as well get my hellos before y'all leave and shit. I might as well say hello to a few people before y'all bounce. Brenda Early, like I said, Yo Underwood, let me see. Crystal Powell, I said these names. Let me go back. I got to stroll up a little bit. Kenny Smith, Troy Embrams, Stephen Speed, Andre, I just say that. I don't want to butcher your name. Roz, once again. Stephen Speed, once again. Miss Pittsburgh, once again. Brenda Early, once again. Let me see. I'm just doing this so I can get the mic. Sabrina Calloway, what's good, Queen? Betting Public Show, Sports Show, what's good? I know you like that information about how they're going to be able to use vendor payout for this new sports betting we got going on in Ohio. I bet you some of y'all like that. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how that new rule that they have on how people who win at sports betting can now go to any vendor and get paid out. I'm going to tell you how at first I had a problem with it, because if I'm a small vendor and I'm selling betting tickets, I have to be able to cover the bets until I get reimbursed from the state. And for small businesses, that's just a no-go. That's a no-go. Because if I have a small shop and I get the bingo game and over on a Sunday or something, people come in and get their payout on bets that they've won, and I got a $32,000 bet out, payout I got to pay up, man, I may not have taken in that much money on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday. So now that leaves it up to my capital to be able to cover those bets. And I just think that that was pushing small businesses, which was going to be primarily minority businesses, was not going to be able to get into this multi-billion-dollar business of betting sports. So I had a problem with it because I knew something that a lot of people was never talking about, and that was, how do they cover the payouts? How do they cover the payouts? And at first, the legislation or the state law, the rule was going to be, wherever you bought the ticket, that's where you had to go get your payout. And that was going to destroy small businesses in that billion-dollar business, I promise you. So now if you come to my establishment, buy a winning ticket, and it's a $5,000 winning ticket, you don't have to bring it to me. You could take it to the casino. You could take it to another big spot and have them pay you out. I had a problem with the sports betting because it was knocking out small minority businesses. And everybody was hating on me, not y'all. I'm talking about people that I was having conversations with. They were hating on me because I was, I'm a businessman, and I started from the bottom, and I always look out for the bottom folks. I mean, I'm for the small dog. I'm for the small little bitty ass dog and us growing. So you can't continue to do big business and start cutting out little business. Little business never stand a chance if you continue to do it that way. So I'm all about the little companies coming up, but it has to be on an equal playing field. So if I can sell $10,000 worth of betting tabs or whatever, and I got $32,000 in payout, now it is not against the rule for me to direct you somewhere else for them to pay you. I can't cover no $7,000 bet, man. You got to take that over to the casino. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. It's not like that in the motherfucking lottery. If you win a lottery ticket and it's like $13,000, you don't have to take it to the place that you bought it. You could take it to any lottery outlet in the city, in the state. So it needs to be that way for this betting thing. Don't try to monopolize it for the big business people. Don't try that shit. That did not go over my head. A lot of people was tripping when I was like, nah, I ain't for this betting shit. And a lot of y'all was wondering why I was tripping about PG Sittenfield getting caught up in that shit that he was doing with the football, Uwuze, whatever the fuck his name is. Y'all didn't understand what I was seeing in that. When you trying to get a monopoly, that means nobody can compete against you. That means you taking in all the money on that block and you doing all the payouts. That knocks. Now y'all understand what I was saying when I was like, so what if me and Fame, who has a betting thing, what if I want to invest in that brother and we open up a small parlor and you come in and bet? We can't open up by this big ass conglomerate business that the city is putting $1 into, using all these companies, to build it. And now they're going to cut the local people out so we can't make any of the money, which means I can't open up a small betting joint. I can, but I got to open it up in the hood. I got to open it up somewhere else. I can't go down in prime location, prime spot. PG was trying to lock that up. See, a lot of y'all don't know that. But when you try to monopolize a specific district and you using your influence to do that shit, all y'all dick riders who was riding on PG, you know what? Y'all didn't get that part. And even if you did get that part, you just didn't want to see it for what it really was, because maybe you was getting something out of it. But the truth of the matter is that was going to cut a lot of small businesses out of doing betting in Ohio or in Cincinnati. Who's going to go down some dark ass alley down the street? No, put me in front of the casino, in front of the lights, in front of that Elm Street property where it was going to be thriving. And a lot of people was going to come through and feel comfortable bringing their money. That's where I want it to be. But when you monopolize that area, it cuts the little guys out. Yeah, he loved black people. He loved him some black people. Y'all tripping. I was the hater. I was the hater talking about PG. I was the hater. All right, so listen, I'm going to say this to you once and for all. I'm just going to say this. I didn't want to start the show off today talking about no border shit, but y'all didn't force my hand. All right? Y'all didn't force my hand. Now, y'all, all of a sudden, this is what's tripping me out. All of a motherfucking sudden, y'all got this itch for the border, when in fact, I've been talking about that shit for a whole year. Didn't nobody give a fuck then. Didn't nobody care. Why do you all of a sudden care now? Why? How you gonna call somebody they nasty, they this? You talking about the Republicans. How you gonna say that shit when people are actually killing themselves to come to this country? How many of y'all cried about the motherfuckers in the swamps down there getting ate up by alligators? How many of y'all been crying about 13-year-old girls coming to the border pregnant because the cartels are raping them? How many of y'all had shit to say about it? And here's the other thing. What news media are you hearing about people being displaced? What news media are you listening to? Let me guess. Chaos Negroes Network, CNN. I guarantee you that's where you're getting your information from. I guarantee you. They ain't no more displaced at Martha's Vineyard than they are at the border of Texas. Tell me I'm lying. How are they any more displaced? When they crossed the border, they didn't know they didn't know nobody. They didn't know nobody when they got here, and they ain't gonna know nobody when they get to Martha's Vineyard. And somebody explain to me, what makes you think Texas and the citizens of Texas, the homeowners of Texas, want a bunch of motherfuckers running in their backyard, sleeping in their dog houses, under their swimming pools, and all this old goofy ass shit? Ain't nobody said a motherfucking thing about this border, and we've been talking about it over here for a year and a half. Now all of a sudden y'all got teardrops and got this fucking, you want to start shitting on other people because of what moves they made when y'all wasn't making no moves. The hypocrisy. Y'all make it so easy to show how fucked up y'all really are. You make it so easy. You ain't saying shit about the 13-year-old, 12-year-old girls coming up raped. I know I've been talking about that. You ain't saying shit about that. You ain't said nothing about these people owing down when they get here. All right, Raj, you got it. My apologies. This is what I get worked up on, though. Raj, you have my deepest apologies. I'm going to cut back on the cursing because I want, you know what? I'm limit myself when I do that. And I show how ignorant that I truly am when I use my cuss words. But, and I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings when I say this, but I am from 1335 John Street. Sorry. And I've always said it's cool for immigrants to come here. They just got to do it the right way. What I don't hear is I don't hear anybody bitching and complaining about it being done the wrong way. The only wrong way I hear you talking about right now, the only wrong way I hear you bitching and complaining about is once they get over in Texas. Now you bitching and complaining because they're sent to a sanctuary state. New York, Chicago. Make it make sense. You ain't bitched and complained the whole time they've been bringing immigrants to the United States of America. You ain't cried one time about one of them little babies down there. You ain't saying shit about these people owe the cartel money when they get here. You ain't saying shit about when they get over here. They thanking your president, Joe Biden. Yeah, thank you, Joe Biden. It's on the news at home in Endorkio. It's on the news. They say the open border, we can come here and we find new life. What, they can't find new life up north in the United States of America? Is that what you're telling me? So all of a sudden, you're going to play this game of somebody is worse than the other. The Democrats are just as bad by allowing these people to rush the country the way they are. 2 million. And here's the other thing. I can guarantee you this. I'm probably going to get kicked off Facebook for telling this truth right here. Mark my words. Put this in the archive, gang. Put this in the archive. Joe Biden will probably be dead and gone the next attack on America. And I guarantee you it'll be some people that cross that border down there. It ain't talking about Mexicans. Y'all know 129 different countries coming across that border right now. It may not be a Mexican that's going to. Y'all know how many people don't like America? You know how many people in them other countries don't like America for economic reasons, for blowing up their family and shit like that? Don't y'all know that? So you got all these undocumented people that's coming through here, not doing it the right way, getting pats on the back and all that shit. And here's the other thing. What party is trying to make it law that illegal immigrants get to vote. Man, if the writing ain't on the wall for some of y'all, I don't know. Look, don't use that empathy shit on me. It ain't gonna work. Y'all sell that shit to some other shows or wherever you want to go. I ain't got no heart for no bullshit. You right. I care about people. I love people, but I try to be on the right side of things, and I'm not gonna let you manipulate me. That shit ain't gonna work. We're not in the 6th grade no more. That shit work on the 6th grade playgrounds. Y'all didn't start caring until the other Democrat people on radio, TV, podcasts, and all this old goofy shit start making some comments about how the Republicans are now moving about the people on the border. You ain't give a shit about that border situation until the Haitians came over and it looked like they was getting whipped. Then you woke up. Now all of a sudden, the Republicans are some dirty, downright they some dirty, downright losers. How can they displace people that's already displaced? How the hell you gonna do that? How you gonna make a motherfucker homeless that's already homeless? Now that might sound insensitive to some of y'all, but that's the nature of the beast, and it's the truth. How you gonna tell somebody? How you gonna tell somebody that they gonna have? I ain't heard nobody say that they was promised a job. Where y'all make that shit up? Where y'all get that from? See, this is why I don't want to talk about this, because I've been on it a year and a half. Y'all motherfuckers just waking up to it now. Excuse my language. I've been talking about this border thing for a year and a quarter. Yeah. So it ain't like brand new to me. Are they promising people jobs down in Texas that cross the border illegally? Where are they sending those people? Then y'all got something to say about DeSantis and all them guys flying them. Y'all don't live amongst none of this shit that's going on, but you got the dirtiest, y'all think the dirtiest shit. Just cynical-minded people. And the people that's pushing it down your throat have been doing things like this forever, and you eat it up. This is breakfast, lunch, and dinner for you. You don't live in any of those cities that's being crushed by them border situations. And you're going to sit back here and let these people that don't know no more than you talk about how fucked up it is. Don't none of y'all live nowhere near them borders. You ain't had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and hear a bunch of essays running through your backyard. You ain't heard none of that shit. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how many of them guys is coming from them gangs. And here's the other thing. How many of them have come out of those penitentiaries over in where's the place at? Put it on the screen. Somebody will let me know. How many of y'all seen that? That these other countries, and I ain't talking about Mexico. Matter of fact, listen, man, this ain't got nothing to do with Mexicans. This is there's way more than just Mexicans crossing the border. And here's the crazy shit. Y'all, if y'all would have been paying attention a year ago, when I was talking about this shit, you would see that these people getting off the bus with cell phones and shit, wearing Tommy Hilfiger, Nikes, backward hats, New Era hats. They ain't walking off them buses with one shoe on with a sock tucked down in the middle. That ain't what they doing. Stop it. Venezuela, thank you. They emptying the jails of Venezuela. So here's my proposal to all of the people that say I must be crazy. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. Wait a minute. Hold on. DC. He said, see, this is what I'm talking about. Wyatt trying to chastise listeners because they vote Democrat. This is a drop of Cincinnati. Shake my head. See, this is what's wrong. You obviously ain't listening. When did I say anything about Democrat? All I said is what y'all said about Republicans. I said what's been said about Republicans. That's what you heard me say. Republicans are returning the serve. That's what they're doing right now, whether you like it or not. And see, this is the division that divides us all the time, is you try to make it a Democrat Republican thing. I'm making it a people thing. It ain't right either way. But let's just say, how did this problem even begin in the first place? Isn't the root of problems the real problem? Isn't it the root? It's not the hanging fruit. It's the root. It's what causes the situation to happen in the first place. Yes or no? Oh, yeah, okay, my bad. Let me put up the comments. Thank you, Brenda Early. I appreciate it. My apologies. Because I don't want to discriminate against conversation, nor do I want to hide anything that someone has to say. My apologies. Because YouTube comments are not seen on Facebook, and I don't think Facebook comments are seen on YouTube. So if I didn't have a background in talking about this for the last year, I wouldn't be so hyped about it right now. But when I was talking about it, I was talking about what? The same thing that y'all talking about right now of how the Republicans are doing these people. I was talking about what was being done to these people trying to get to this country in the first place. And who was responsible for things like that happening? If these people are watching on their TV screens in their local country, where they're from, they're looking at the TV screen talking about open borders in America. I don't know if it was worded that way. But if that's what they're looking at, they come in here saying it. Whenever they put a microphone in one of these immigrants' face, ain't none of them said nothing different than that. They surrender when they get there. 2 million people in the last how long? 2 million. 2 million people. That's not even counting the ones that got away. And now you paying attention because these people are going to sanctuary. Do y'all realize that sanctuary states mean we open for you to come here? So if you open to come here, then you should be able to facilitate whatever comes your way. But I think it's you don't think it's hypocritical for somebody to say they sending us people as if that border, like they welcome them people every day, like Texas is sitting there with clipboards saying, okay, Juan, thank you for coming. Okay, Juan, we got you checked off. Here's your cell phone. Here's your card, your debit card. Here's your housing. We're going to send you that. What? If you're a sanctuary city, you welcome everybody. I need to know what the problem is. Somebody show me. I need documentation. I've been on this over a year. I need documentation. Somebody show me where somebody was promised a job. I ain't heard that shit till today. I ain't heard nothing about somebody promised somebody a job up at Martha's Vineyard. I ain't seen no documents. I seen the document that these people signed, not personally, but I seen it on the news. Show me. DC, you already called me a coon. Let's stay right there with it. Stay right there with it. But I'm just going, you know what? Here's the thing. It's funny how for me to be a coon, it would be more about me putting my people down instead of checking these boxes that really make some sense. See, I'm not easily fooled. So you can say whatever you want to say about me. The decisions I've made in life are okay for me. So my delivery and all that, you know what I say about that. You know how I feel. Sanctuary cities. That should be your number one thing, which means welcome for everybody. We got room for you. You can come here. No problem. I missed a phone call. I apologize. Let me see. Who was that? It was a California number, so I'm assuming it must have been dropped. Feel free to call back. He says, Daryl says, why didn't those Republican governors do this shit a year ago? Why now? Okay, listen, Daryl, there's a process. These guys have been trying to get a hold and get some relief at the border. Why don't you ask your border patrol people? Ask the mayors of the cities down in Texas. There are some Democratic mayors that got a problem with what's going on down there. I wish y'all stop making this a Democrat-Republican thing. There are people that are Democrats that have issues with how that border is being handled right now. So explain to me, how long does it take before you have to return a serve? At a certain point, you can't just have people keep doing you any old kind of way. I know a lot of people used to that. I know a lot of people just give up. I know a lot of people give up when they don't get their way. A lot of people don't return to serve. They don't do that. Hold on 1 second. Let me take a call. This is my sister. This is Tracy Dillingham. Tracy, you there? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can get this thing up and popping. Hold on, Tracy. Tracy, you there? I might have to do this the old school way, Tracy, if I don't get you this time. All right, I'm going to do it that way. Tracy, can you hear me?
Wyatt?
Yes.
I'm sorry, my mute button was on. I didn't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me put you on the speaker so people can hear you. Hold on 1 second. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, can you hear me now, Tracy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this the old school way. My speaker is not working for some odd reason. What's going on? What's happening?
Real quick, what time is it?
It is 5:44.
Okay, because I got a 6 o'clock meeting and I need to jump off. I'm not gonna be on that long. But in my opinion, Wyatt, and I've been listening, I think Sanctuary City.
Uh-oh. Tracy, we lost you a little bit. You said Sanctuary City and went out. Go ahead, say it again.
Okay, I'm going up here by this this tower. It might cut me out. I think, in my opinion, it means we welcome you with open arms. We don't discriminate, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have room for you. And I'm speaking, your girl's speaking from, an affordable housing standpoint. We have thousands of people on wait lists. We have wait lists that are years long. So, where are we going to put these people? I feel for the immigrants who are escaping their homelands, where they are in danger, where their kids are being raped, where their kids are being murdered. I get it. But just because we're a sanctuary city and we smile and we say, come on over here, it doesn't mean we have anywhere for you to go.
But let me ask you this, Tracy. I respect that. But why do you think that it's only Texas's responsibility to keep those people and they don't have anywhere to put them either? Why is it just if you're gonna allow people to come into the United States of America, and then you want to have this policy that's letting them come through and not detaining them, not stopping them and sending them U-turns back? Why are you allowing them to stay in Texas?
I don't think it's their responsibility to solely keep. I think there should be all governors at the table trying to figure out, number one, if we're going to let them in, if we are, where they're going to go. But if you don't take precautions or, put forth methods to stop them from coming into, crossing your borders, then what do you do once they're in there? You know what I mean?
You find somewhere for them to go, right? You find somewhere for them to go. So did you talk
to this other governor before you just dropped them in somebody's yard?
Did somebody talk to DeSantis or the Texas governor and say, hey, we're going to let these people come in, find somewhere for them to go? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And here's the other thing.
Because he's sitting in Texas. They crossed their border. They crossed the border into his state. Who was supposed to tell him that they were coming? Were they supposed to send him a memo and say, hey, it's going to be about 5,000 of us walking across the border? Who was supposed to tell DeSantis that?
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you're saying it's not the same thing that if somebody just surprisingly come across your border.
You said somebody should have told DeSantis they were coming. Who should have told him?
No. I'm saying to you, you said that somebody should have told those other governors that somebody was coming. I said nobody told the governor. Wait a minute, hold on. I said that nobody told the governors of Texas that those people were coming. They just came through.
Stop right there. Who was going to tell him that?
They just came through. Wait, here go the thing, Tracy. I've been talking about this for well over a year, and nobody from other states, nobody from other cities wanted to step up and reduce the volume of the population of the immigrants from Texas. And when they get ignored, and your citizens of Texas are asking your governor, what are we going to do? This is crazy. People are dying in my backyard, running from them. When do they turn around and say, Well, when is other people going to be responsible for what's going on? Texas is not just America by themselves. America, if you're going to let, if you, wait a minute, hold on. If you're going to let these immigrants come in America, then we must share the burden of where they go. That's the policy that's open right now.
Stop right there. We can share the burden, especially those who accept immigrants. But can we have a conversation, or you just gonna?
They've been trying. Wait a minute. They've been trying for over a year. When was the last time you see? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Responds to you,
let me ask you this: who's in charge of the border for the government? I need that answer. I need that answer from you. I need the answer to who's in charge of the border for the United States of America.
Border Patrol, is that
no. That would be your that would be your vice president. Kamala Harris has been, that is her initiative. She's been responsible for the border, and I'm the first one that said this. I'm the first one who said this, Tracy. You might remember this. I said Biden setting her up to fail. You don't remember that?
I do remember.
Okay,
that.
So when I said Biden was setting her up to fail, here's a perfect example. Because when was the last time you heard Kamala Harris say something about the border? When has the last time she's been there?
It's been a minute.
Okay, so you don't think she has anything?
Dropped them in her yard.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. If crime was going on in the city of Cincinnati so rapid, and it was going into all these neighborhoods and things was happening, what will we eventually, what are the people, let me ask you this. It's funny that you would say that. I'm going to use this as an example. Why is it that people are going into the yards of the Supreme Court justices because of their decision of Roe versus Wade? Why don't they go to the courthouse? Why are they going to those people's house? I don't hear nobody talking about that. And if you don't see the parallel in the points, it's the same thing, Tracy. It's the same thing. I'm sorry?
I said you're deflecting now. You said somebody should have told DeSantis.
No. Well, okay, let me say this to you. Maybe I'm wrong because it's not DeSantis who has the problem at the border. It's Texas's governor. So when I said DeSantis, I don't know where I came up with that. I know that they were sending some people over to his state as well, that they didn't know what to do with them. But let me ask you this. Why, if you're so concerned with people talking about who coming and who going, why hasn't anybody been answering to those governors when they've been writing Congress and writing the United States and calling Kamala Harris and Biden and all of them to come down here and see what's going on so we can get some help down here? What do you say about the teenage girls that's showing up to the border all jacked up? What do you say about the families that owe the cartels all this money?
In the first 30 seconds, my concern is, and I never said they couldn't come here. My concern is where are the people going to go?
I bet you.
Are they going to come to your house?
Let me tell you what happens. Let me tell you what happens. Well, you can say that same thing about the people in Texas, Tracy. That same question holds to the people, the residents of Texas. If the border was Kentucky, if that was Mexico, you would have a totally different feeling right now. If people was walking across that yellow McDonald Bridge, coming into your backyard, trying to get to Detroit or wherever they can go, and they was in your backyard sleep, you would have a whole different outlook right now. You would wonder where the rest of the United States of America and the relief. Why do I have to live like this every day? Why am I finding dead bodies in my backyard? Why am I feeling like I'm unsafe in my own community?
Why do you not feel that what they did, dropping those people off in her yard?
You know what I feel? You know what I feel?
Let me ask you, do you feel it was petty?
Let me tell you what I feel. I feel like this. I feel like you at a certain point, whether it's politics, whether it's life, if people are ignoring your needs, if they're ignoring you, people protest all the time. People walk down the streets and protest their feelings after they have not been heard enough. What do the people of Texas supposed to do? What are they going to add? They're asking their governor to do something. What would you do if DeWine was in this same situation? Wouldn't we want him to go to the United States and get funds or get some people to jump off some of this relief? And then when people ask me this question, Tracy, let me just say this, because we're winding down on your time. You're getting close to your time there. Let me just say this to you. Okay. The people that care so much about these border people, the immigrants, I say, why didn't y'all care 14, 15 months ago when they were getting drugged by alligators and drowning, and they were averaging 9 deaths a day.
If you go to my Instagram page, I made a post about that.
So,
a daughter and her father trying to cross and drown. I've been caring about it. But what I don't like is you just picking these immigrants like they're pawns in a game, like they're pieces on a chessboard, and just dumping them somewhere.
But you don't think the root of the problem? Wait a minute, Tracy. You don't think the root of the problem has done it? They made the first chess move. That's the first chess move right there. Talking about pawns.
Throwing them somewhere like they're trash.
They're not throwing them somewhere like they trash. Tracy, here's the thing. When they show up and they don't have nowhere to. So what is this? The border control is responsible for what? Keeping America safe. So you telling me that everybody, look, y'all got to understand something. I'm not saying that everybody that's coming across the border is a criminal. Don't get it screwed up. I'm not saying that. But you best believe it is a whole lot of people coming across that border that ain't got no business in our communities. And that's been proven. They have caught 78 listed terrorists already. You trying to tell me we don't need to have a system that's working better than what it's working? And then we get mad when Texas wants relief? I don't understand. Tracy, what I don't understand is this. That's why I did a show a year ago about when the Haitians came over. I was like, wait a minute. Now everybody want to wake up. Al Sharpton took his little ass down there and wanted something to say. They kicked him out of there. Remember that? Who remember that? He ain't said nothing else about the border. Now everybody want to have something to say about the border when somebody finally do something else, do something back. Now let me.
Are you for build that wall? Is that what we're going to do?
I'm for coming into the, listen, here's what I am. I'm for coming in the country the right way. And I can guarantee you one thing. I don't hear no Latino people. I don't hear no Mexican people here in America that's here legally bitching and complaining like I do black folks. I hear people that live here who got here the right way. It's crickets out of them. It's crickets. Only people I hear now about this border thing are people that have been influenced to be able to say something now about how unsafe and how dirty this move is.
You probably should listen to a different station then, because I'm sure there's plenty of white people that are screaming and hollering about illegals coming over here. It all started.
Tracy, how did you get? What did I say to make you say that I need to hear white people screaming about people coming over here?
I don't hear nothing but black people bitching and complaining about the border.
I'm talking about us right here, right now. I'm talking about our circle. I'm not talking about in the country, because I do hear a bunch of white people complaining about what's going on. I hear a whole lot of white people complaining. My point of saying what I said was I don't hear any Mexicans or Latinos who live here who have been here legally. I don't see them walking in the street complaining about border people being treated a certain way. Matter of fact, most Latinos down in Florida, they all are upset at the fact that these people were able to come through here for nothing, no process, nothing. And when somebody can prove me wrong, where I live in a city where if you don't speak Spanish, you can't even operate. And what's bothering me is we got so many people that are not living in these conditions that our other fellow Americans are living in. And we got all this to say, and we've been led to believe that it's a Republican doing somebody dirty, and nobody has even mentioned the root cause of the problem. What is the root cause of the problem? The same people complaining right now, I need y'all to tell me this would never have happened if what?
What you want me to say if Donald Trump would have built the wall? I don't know what you want me to
say. The wall was stopped. They got $50 million worth of wall down there that's rusting right now because when Biden got in office, they stopped production of the wall. Y'all have to know that. Y'all know that it's rust. And here go the thing. Texas tried to buy the wall pieces from the United States government. They so nasty about this shit, Tracy. This is the truth, sweetie. They so nasty about it. They'd rather see it sit down there and rust than to sell it to Texas so they can build the wall. Come on now, y'all got to know this. All of a sudden, everybody want to wake up to what the Republicans are doing. Who's saying anything about Biden sending All these people, why is he putting people on flights at nighttime at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning in the nighttime so don't nobody see where they going? Where are those people ending up?
Oh Lord, here we go with this. Okay,
That's not true. That's not true. Tell me if it's true or not.
Let me go watch the news network that you hate and see if it's true.
Yeah, no, you ain't gonna never learn nothing over at CNN. You ain't gonna never learn nothing at CNN. CNN gonna keep you. They gonna keep you right where you at right now.
I'm gonna go watch the Clinton News Network and see what I can.
That's the Chaos Ninja Network. That's what they are. None but love, girl.
Bye.
I can't stand her. I'm just playing. That's my sister. I missed the call. I think it said California. So I mean, I'm assuming it was dropped, but if not, that's cool. I might have lost them. Oh, no, I hear it. Good evening. Can you hear me?
What up, Wyatt?
Give me 1 second, my friend. I want to see if I can get this thing working. Hold on.
All right.
My fault, guys. My fault. All right. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you fine.
Okay, before you say anything, I know you called a couple times. I apologize. I couldn't get the
Bro,
phone.
hey, man, this your world. I'm just trying to get in where I can fit in.
I can't. Let me just give me 2 seconds to get this point across, because I was reading some comments while I was talking about what I was talking about. Here's my thing. DC, come on, man, ease up. Let's not talk about that soft shit. Don't do that. All right, if we're gonna keep it a debate, let's keep it a debate. You called me a name because of my take. I'm not on no soft shit. I ain't feeling like I ain't soft like that, where like, bro, like a word gonna hurt my feelings. I brought that up so you would understand how I view what you think of me. When you call me a coon, I have to make that clear, that how you think of me. You think of me of that way. So I want to bring it to your attention that the reason why you on your points and feel the way you feel and disagree with me is because of how you feel about me. You think I'm a coon, but that's okay. So I just wanted to bring it. It ain't no hate. Like, I ain't disliking you or I ain't in my feelings because you called me a coon. It was relevant to me letting you know why I feel the way you feel. No, it ain't no, we ain't got to apologize. It ain't that. I'm saying if I call Jesse, what's his name? If I call Al Sharpton a chaos agent, that's how I feel about him. That's how I feel about him. I ain't gonna apologize to him. And I mean, it ain't nothing personal. That's my opinion of how I feel he addressed issues. But it ain't because I think that I'm better than him or he less than me. It's just how he do it. I mean, how he get his points across. So let me move on. So it ain't no love. I mean, bro, it ain't no hate or none of that. I ain't got nothing but love. It ain't no brother on here. I bounce back and forth with Glenn. R.I.P. to Glenn. But me and Glenn used to have phone calls and we used to talk away from the microphone. So we understood each other. We just had different points of view about certain things. So it's all gravy. Hey, Drop, welcome to the show, man. What's happening?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Wyatt. Earlier, I heard you read a comment, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I just want to make sure I heard it correctly, what you were reading. Did somebody call you the Drop of Cincinnati?
I don't know. I might have missed that comment. It's possible.
No, you read it. You read the comment from that person.
Did I?
Yes, you read the comment. Said they were talking. I guess you was talking about the border, and the person, you read it. You said that's what you read, because I could have swore I heard you say, reading this person's comment, that
who was it?
They were writing that you sounded like the Drop of Cincinnati. But either way, brother, this is a hell of a topic. And I wish I could go back and forth with Tracy. Shout out to Tracy from Cincinnati. I love her calls. But again, she's leaving out the important shit about the border that has not been covered. Only on Fox News. Bill Malugin down there on the border, him and their team at Fox, they're putting the story out there. But Tracy, I know you're listening. There's a thing called Title 42 at the border, where they were turning people away if you were not part of a family unit. Okay, so guess what was happening, Tracy? Unaccompanied minors. That means anybody younger than 17 years and 11 months were considered minors, and they were let into the country. Look at the pictures of the 50 that were sent to Martha's Vineyard and the others that have been going from Texas to New York City, to Washington, D.C., to Chicago, Illinois for the past 6 months. Like Wyatt pointed out, Greg Abbott was the first one to do it. He caught hell. But again, Wyatt is getting, we 47 days away, bro. We 47 days away. And I'm telling you, Wyatt, the internal polling is starting to turn. It's starting to turn. That's why you can hear the frustration coming from the black folks that listen to your show, that comment on your comments about what's going on. And again, all I got to say is what DeSantis did, which is what Abbott had been doing all along. But when DeSantis sent him to where he sent him to where all them guilty white folks was at, Wyatt. And they all desperate Democrats. They were there less than 48 hours and they shipped their ass off to a military base. So again, Wyatt, the fact that this shit is back into the forefront. I heard the passion in your voice.
Hold on, Drop. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this. I think that's the proper way to do it. You
have to, like I told you the other day, you got to keep pounding that shit, bro.
Wait a minute, hold on. What I'm saying to you is when they sent these folks to Martha's Vineyard, you're supposed to get the military or whatever, the local military or whatever, the reserves involved and send these people to housing, right? That's what I don't want them to live on the streets like Americans been living on the streets for the last decade. I'm not asking these folks to be homeless. What I'm saying is, where is Texas? Where is their relief? Why hasn't the government done anything to help them? And it's funny.
Well, they have, Wyatt. They have, and that's the only thing you left out is the fact that the government has been shipping migrants to red states in the dark of night. Because when Jan Psaki was the press secretary, the redhead whitey, when she was press secretary, the Fox News correspondent Peter Doocy, he brought that up, and she clowned. She said, "Oh no, Peter." It's not in the dead of night. It's just the early morning.
Right. That's
and again, it's comments like that. But see, when you're not informed, Wyatt, and you only watch or get your information from a certain place, it's things you just don't know about. And then when you hear it, they're going to come at you like DC is coming at you, Wyatt. But again, welcome to the club, brother. You keep doing your thing. You keep pointing out the shit. Here. And before I go, it's some chaos in the NBA, my brother. I'm gonna mention the owner of the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Liberty of the WNBA, Robert Sarver, has announced that he's gonna sell his team, right? Because he was just fined by the NBA for $10 million and a 1-year suspension for using inappropriate language like the N-word and other things for years. All right. Then you have the head coach of the Boston Celtics, Ime Udoka, the head coach of the Boston Celtics, who has a family with Mia Long, just got or is getting ready to get suspended for having an affair within Boston Celtics organization with someone that wasn't his wife.
Right.
So again, I'm just telling you, Wyatt, it's shit that's going on out here, and it's an election year, and shit is getting hot. And if it's black related, it's going to be even hotter because black people, they in their feelings right now.
Well, here's
their feelings.
Here's the thing. I think somebody brought up a good point. I got to say this, okay? Regardless of how I feel about this issue, somebody made a good point. I don't know if it was DC or if it might have been Anthony Prosser, AP. I don't know which one of them said it. It may have been someone else. And if you said it, come get your credit because I'm about to tell you. They made a good point. They said, well, why are Republicans starting to do this now? They're only doing this because of an election. It's getting closer to the primaries. And somebody said that. And I say that they have a great point there. But let me just say, I'm not sure it's because it's the primary time. I say they should have been doing this a long time ago as well. But based on
they were.
But hold on.
If you're talking about the Texas, the migrants.
No, I'm talking about Wait a minute, hold on. Maybe it was somebody. Yeah, okay, yeah, me too, Roz. He said I'm gonna have to start writing names. But somebody said something saying, well, why are the Republicans doing this move now? And it's almost like you're trying to make it sound like the Republicans are making this move of sending people to Martha's Vineyard and outside to Chicago and busing them to New York and all of that to make the Democrats look bad. I'm just gonna say to you this: if they would have gave them, wait a minute,
yes, that is why they're doing it.
But here go the thing: if they would have done it a year ago,
they were, Wyatt. That's what I'm telling you. They were doing it. That's why Kamala Harris was given the job to get to the root, to the root cause. Remember?
No. Drop. You're wrong on that. They were sending them out, but they were not sending. They were not doing this at the time that Republicans or whoever the Texas governor was asking for relief back in the day. They were shipping. They were sneaking people out. That was not letting people know. They were trying to hide the chaos that was going on down at the border and sneaking people out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock in the morning. Most of the people that got a problem right now with what the governor is doing by sending them to Martha's Vineyard, sending them to New York and Chicago, those are the people that never knew about the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning flights that Trump, not Trump, but what's his name, Biden and them was sending out. I can guarantee you they didn't know about that.
Okay, so but let me throw this counter out there with you, okay? Because this is the other reason that they act in the way they are now. I'm talking about the Democrats. It's because they're willing accomplices in the media and the newsrooms and the newspapers. They were not reporting this story.
Of course not.
The governor, okay, because they were not reporting the story. And now the story comes out when people are paying attention. Summertime's over, they back into the routine, school's back in, ain't no fucking COVID, and now they back.
Well, let me ask you something,
starting to look at what's going on. And then this story breaks. Wyatt, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna ask you a question and you can finish your point because I'm old and I forget my shit. Quick question.
You're not as old as me.
I'm just speaking for myself. I'm old and I can't remember everything. Well, let me just ask you this. You live in California, correct?
Right.
California is considered somewhat of a border state, isn't it? Because y'all
I was getting ready to bring it up.
So you got to understand. You got to understand. Your information in California is different than ours in the Midwest. So
I told the Nathan Ivey show back in the day, I told him this was gonna happen.
But you got to understand, it's easier to put a blindfold on Midwest folks than it is people that live on borders. I just finished telling people, if you live on a border state, you got different information coming at you. Try living somewhere where people can walk right across your yard, your fence, and be in your yard. Try living in those areas. All I'm saying to you is this. So your local news, does your local news say anything about the border situation out in California?
No, and that's what I was getting ready to bring up.
Well, let me ask you, let me just say this, making my point, and you can make yours. My point is Cincinnati, Ohio, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, all these states in the Midwest, Wisconsin, they have no border. And I can guarantee you Channel 19, Channel 5, Channel 12, Channel, whatever your local channel is, never talk about the border. And we're talking about 8,000 to 9,000 people a day involved in this border crossover. So if you're
over 2 million in 10 months,
that's what I'm saying, bro. So if
record
you're not,
never ever happened before.
So if you're not informed on a daily basis of what's going on daily, it's kind of hard to have a solid opinion of how things are being dealt with when somebody finally shake you and wake you up and say, hey, this is what's going on. And then you have an instant piece of they ain't shit. Look what they doing to people. When in fact, you don't even know what they've been doing to people the whole time that it's been going on.
Wyatt, that's the same thing when you find out you just been played. Okay. You mostly try to blame the person that just played you, but really you're more upset with yourself.
Yeah,
for allowing yourself to
but you
be
stay
played.
Mad at the other people, but you really upset at yourself. Once the dust clear, you really mad at yourself. But as long as you can
allowing yourself to be played for being lazy, because again, like I said, Wyatt, they're having to explain this immigration shit that's been around, like you said, from day one. And Tracy, FYI girlfriend, the wall was stopped
Thank you.
by Joe Biden.
And then sitting down there
And
unconstructed.
last month or 2 months ago, they authorized to finish
Right.
the big ass hole in Arizona because of the Senator Mark Kelly that is in a tight race with Blake Masters in Arizona. But you didn't hear about that because you've been told that the wall was never built, but it was built.
But wait a minute, hold on. Did you not hear that Texas, the state of Texas, was trying to buy all that wall that was laying on the ground down there? And it was down there rusting, and Texas was willing to buy $30 million worth of wall and pay the contractors to put it up. But the United States government wouldn't even they'd rather have taxpayer dollars laying on the ground than to fix this problem. And Texas tried to buy it with their own money, and the administration said no. Somebody explain to me
Wyatt, why they had their little out with the bureaucracy of it, because remember, Trump had to reroute the money from the military because obviously he didn't get the money from Mexico. But because the money was used for that, that's why they claimed that they couldn't transfer it over to Texas.
Okay, whatever.
But again,
whatever.
Anything's possible in Washington. But my point is, Wyatt, brother, you was on point with all your shit. But before I go, I'm just going to tell you, the two other states that's never talked about when we talk about the border, you only hear about Texas and Arizona because they have Republican governors. But New Mexico and California,
you don't hear about it.
You don't hear about it, especially California, because damn near the hierarchy in Washington, D.C., 90% of them are from California. Feinstein, Adam Schiff, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi. I mean, I could go down the line of these politicians that are from this state. So again, Wyatt, voices like yours are getting louder and getting larger. And like I told you, and I told a lot of other people, Black Not Democrat is a movement in 2022. 47 days until Judgment Day. Drop Squad 52. Drop his science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace out, Wyatt.
Appreciate you calling, Drop. Like I said, I allow everybody, if you want to call and voice your opinion, feel free to do so. I may not agree with everything, but that don't mean I'm going to sit here and say, nah, you can't have no conversation. I ain't going to let you say what you got to say. I ain't going to drop no name or none of that shit. But I'm just saying, it's funny how we become judgmental when we drop, like we have been dropped right into a pot of gumbo. And the gumbo's been cooking for a long time. And now when you get in there, now you want to criticize why the damn potatoes is soft and why this and this and that. I mean, how we going to have something to say about something and we ain't even been part of it, ain't even been educated on it? You're going to take a news article or what the news saying to you now of a problem that's been going on for well over a year. And now you want to act and fall for what the first thing is told to you. I mean, I just don't understand that. You mad at what the Republicans are doing to put people in other cities and states, but you're not mad at what's going on with the people that's killing themselves to get here. And why are they going to the extremes to get here? Maybe they have bad government, yes. But why do they feel like once they get here, why is 2 million plus people so far willing to risk their life to get here all of a sudden and not do it the right way? I can tell you right now, if you one of my Floridians, if you live where we live, call me right now and tell me I'm lying if you're a Latino Floridian and you feel good about what's going on at the border. You feel good about how the USA has been handling the Latinos down at the border. Tell me that you ain't been upset up that you okay with it, that you fine with how it's been going. I can tell you that they're not happy. And they don't want those people to come in here unlike how they got through here free. Like, like through the process. Through the process. And what amazes me, I'll make this last point, and then I'm gonna go to the caller, hold caller. What amazes me is this. We sitting here hollering and screaming about these folks and getting all in our feelings about these people, and they gonna have better benefits than us. I can guarantee you. You can put this on the archives and in the notes right now. Those folks will go to school before our babies will go to school. You might not like me for saying that, but I guarantee you, there's already things in process and already moving in place right now that these folks, just like the Afghanistans, how many of us had an opportunity to start like the Afghanistans? I would love my baby to graduate from high school and be able to go off into America with the advantages that they gave the Afghanistan people who came from Afghanistan, from that horrific tragedy that happened over there with how we exited that dumb shit. All right, I'm going to take this caller. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Good afternoon, Wyatt. This is Hurricane, but you and your
Hurricane.
listeners can call me Slurricane.
Slur of Fame. What's good?
Oh, you the man. I'm just visiting. I guess today of your show, what is it? The Wyatt Live show. This must be the dickhead edition.
I guess so. I guess I'm just not going to be the guy that everybody like. That's cool.
I mean, yeah, because the Daryl Carpenter, one of the biggest dickheads in Cincinnati talk radio listener history. Never says anything substantial, but just wants to insult people with their comments. Never adds nothing to the commentary. All he does is sit back and troll. We were once at an event of another podcast some years ago, 5-minute walking distance from his house. This monkey talking about it ain't worth my time. Wasn't doing nothing but sit home picking toe jam. Wasn't doing nothing at home productive, nothing. Just said some bushy shit like that. It's like, wait a minute, we 5 minutes from your house. All the shit you talk, you need to come out here and address some of it. He ain't want to. And that's what I call a clear monkey. And that's what Daryl Carpenter is. Don't even let him, I wouldn't even reread his comments because he's just trying to troll. He thinks he went to Harvard. Nigga, you went to DeVry. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Frank. I'm the type of guy that let people say what they say, but when you call me a name, I gotta address it. I wasn't mad. I went 2 days and let it go. It was just the fact that if you're gonna call me a name,
there's never been a bigger monkey.
If you're gonna call me,
telling you.
Wait, hold on, because I don't want people thinking I'm mad. Now I want the brother to stick around because regardless how he feel about certain issues, maybe he'll hear something and it might change, or maybe he'll stay on his circle with it. But my thing is this: I only said to him that you called me a coon so people would know how you feel about me. That's all. That's the only reason why I brought it back up. It's not that it hurt my feelings, bro. I've been called that same thing by motherfuckers that asked to borrow $50 from me. So, it's never really been a situation where I really put a lot of emphasis on when people call me names. And when I say that is when I say people borrow, it's like people ask for a favor. And then when you say no, all of a sudden you all these names. They love you until you can't do nothing for them anymore. You know what I'm saying? We all done been there. It's not just me, it's everybody. We all have been there. But look,
absolutely.
How people have I'm okay with how, just like the last time you called, Fame, I was like, look, we just gonna have to agree to disagree. That's how we left it, right? I ain't say you was some name or none of that shit, and it's cool. I'm a grown ass man. I can take that. But my thing is, I don't want you to call me a name that's gonna now try to, one of your partners used to do that shit to me. He'd come over my platform and try to sway my whole audience and try to convince them that I'm something that I'm not. And he has never checked my receipts. So you can't call. Well, it's, I'm just saying, bro, it's somebody that used to come over and, they're not here with us anymore. But then I had
that ain't one of my partners. I mean, don't get it twisted.
Well, I'm not going to say
one of my former partners. I used to rock with him. I appreciate him because he was a, staple on talk radio as a caller for 30 years. But
all I'm gonna say, hold on, Fame, all I'm gonna say is this: I'm not gonna say anything derogatory about.
I know you're not trying to be. No, okay. I know that. I know you're not dispersing him. I was just wondering who were you talking about? Like, okay.
Yeah, it's basically, sometimes when people don't know who you are, they don't know why you feel the way you feel. So sometimes you got to let people know who you are and what you stand for and where you've been in life and what you actually do for your community before you start calling me names. Because for the same people that call me something derogatory like that, I asked to bring your receipt books to the dance when it's time to show proof of who actually supports the community. You know, I don't just support my community with a microphone. I support my community with action.
That's what's happening.
That, you see what I'm saying? It's more, and I ain't the guy that live behind the microphone. I come outside. People know they can see me. I ain't
That's
nobody got no reason
you
to
come
be
outside.
Yeah, I mean,
Carpenter does it.
I do live broadcasts. I go to the gym. I go down. I go in the hood. I go to the. I'm outside. Don't nobody have no problem with me because they know I'm a stand-up dude. I'm gonna do what I say I'm gonna do. Anybody that got a problem with me, I'm sorry about how you feel. You got a problem because of how I feel about something, but you can't say it's because of what I did.
Yeah, I couldn't have been but 19 years old. I remember you down at the LeBron Boys Club, you know, being one of the scorers from the little basketball camp that was down there.
That's what I
You know,
do.
like, you know, we had to shoot a 3 from each angle and shoot a free throw, make a layup. And, you know, I couldn't have been, I made it to the second round. And then I don't know what happened. I just lost my shot.
Man,
you know, I had 7 in the first round. The first, you know, the top score had 19. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to win this.
Hell no.
And then I just lost my shot.
Hell no.
You know, I don't know what happened there.
Fame. Let me just say this.
I'm a lefty shooter. You know,
y'all did.
It just kind of just left me. But
y'all did.
I also want to say.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Now I gotta address.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You want to address what?
I gotta address the shooting thing. All right. I gotta address the basketball shooting thing. You probably gonna hang up after you hear this. So you might, maybe I should let you get your next point out. But now I gotta address the shooting thing. Y'all couldn't mess with me in basketball, bro, because I was a gym rat. I'm the same person that I was back then. That's who I am now. I am not going to lose. All right. I go too hard.
Well, yeah.
I go too
hard. At 9 and 10, I couldn't beat you in basketball because you were 19 or 20.
Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
All
right, go ahead. That's a lie.
Considerably older.
That's a lie, y'all.
You know, now today I'll bust you.
He is lying.
You know what I'm saying? But back then, no, I couldn't do nothing with you.
He's
lying. You know what I'm saying?
Fame older than me. He older than me.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Get your other.
You know, Rob was talking about the Celtics coach, you know, Udoka. He need to change his last name to you dickhead. You know, you out here. Why do you not only are you cheating on your wife, you're cheating with the help. You're not supposed to cheat with the help.
Who are you talking about? The basketball coach?
That's some Paul Castellano shit, cheating with his maid.
The basketball coach?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just say something about that, Fame. Now, you should know for damn sure that men don't care nothing about the economics of a woman. I've been trying to tell people that. Why is it so shocking to you that a dude with a Porsche would pull up to White Castles and give a girl that work in White Castles some holler? Where if a woman with a Porsche,
because he knows she'll go.
Where a woman in a Porsche would never date a dude that's working in White Castle. I've been saying that. So why is it so surprising that the NBA coach would date somebody that works for the organization that may not be, you know, some hierarchy of the team? Why does that shock you? I don't know. Look at.
No, it's not shocking. It's actually disgusting that he would do that. Like, bro, like, you know, like you're too old to be out here gallivanting around with randoms. You have, you know, there's a reason why he's been married, or not married, engaged to Nia Long for 7 years and hasn't married her. Yeah, that's her problem.
Yeah.
That he won't marry her.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? My thing is like, dude, you know, we passed that age and really that era of just throwing D around just for the sake of throwing D.
I mean, can't we say that? Can't we say that about Tiger Woods? He started messing with the nanny, bro.
I kind of got respect for Tiger Woods.
Well,
the way he did it.
He a billionaire, though.
He had 15 of them. You know, 15 mistresses. That tells me he wasn't trying to get involved. It was just purely about the sport.
But wait a minute, bro. No, he ended up with the nanny. He wasn't just smashing her. He was with her after his wife found out. That's who he started walking and talking with. Yeah.
His wife is the nanny.
But That's what I'm talking about. Wait, what did I say? Did I say?
You said he ended up with the nanny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
His wife was a nanny.
No, bro. He was messing with one of the nannies. He was messing with the nannies of his children.
Right. I mean, you know what? He might have. Like I said, it was 15 of them.
No,
like I said, it was just purely about the sport of sex with him.
Right, but
he
hold
wasn't
on.
trying to be nobody's man or give you any dreams.
Fame, let me tell you what it was, bro. Quick. He was married to a woman, and he was messing with the nanny, and he ended up with the nanny. That woman that he's with now, those aren't her kids. She's the nanny of those kids. He's with her now.
That woman that he got kids with, the blonde lady, Ellen, she was a nanny. I want to say that's how he met her.
No,
she was a nanny.
Right.
She was a nanny of another golfer.
I'm gonna get out of Tiger Woods' bedspreads. I'm gonna get out of his pocket with the nanny shit. All I know is he did what men do, and that is, a woman would never do that. Look, I mean, I shouldn't say that because look at who Oprah Winfrey is with. I don't think what's his name, Sedman or whatever his name. I don't think he ever had no money on his own. He was handsome and he was like a model or something from back in the Hugh Hefner days and shit like that. But I don't think he ever made any type of money that was on her level. But she ended up with him. But you don't see too many of these women that are in Hollywood with broke dudes. You just don't see it. Where you look at the guys that's making money, they'll go get a girl that's working at the damn Frisch's, and that'll be his woman.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah. Because I'm breaking up. I'm in a thing here. The reason why you talk about Tiger Woods is because anytime a black man's junk is where it ain't supposed to be, it's always going to be news. Whether it's Tiger, Udoka, one of these ball players with all these random kids, there's always going to be where his junk ain't supposed to be. That's always going to be newsworthy.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. We don't really hear that same shit about white athletes. You don't hear how many babies.
You're never going to.
You don't hear how many babies they have on the side or girlfriends, or you just very seldom. You might see one in the news media catch something in the news of them they were cheating because it went public some kind of way, or they're going through a dirty divorce and then the lady lets it out of the bag. But you just never hear about how many kids the hockey player has or the soccer player has. You don't hear about that shit, and they got kids out there, bro.
No, I'll take that back. Steve Garvey of the Padres and Dodgers. We heard about that. They
went all the way back.
How he had a bunch of kids.
1979,
out of wedlock.
Bro, you went all the way back to a clipping in the Cincinnati Enquirer, December 15th, 1978. Listen to you. Ain't nobody know Steve Harvey.
There was a time when they were talking about him and Joe Montana. It was well known that he was a womanizer.
Yeah, all right.
Not necessarily any kids out of wedlock, but I'm just saying.
I got you.
And Chipper Jones, but I digress. The thing I want to talk about was because I mentioned my name about the sports betting.
Yeah.
Let me tell you all a little something. Be careful trying to go into a place like Kroger to bet. If you do that, well, first of all, make sure you listen to my show before you do that so you can win. But secondly, don't go into a place like Kroger. Can you imagine all the hustle and bustle on a Sunday morning in Kroger, and they only got like 3 or 4 kiosks with no time limit, and people are up there like, hurry up, my nigga, you gotta hurry up, man, hurry up, and then all the different little mini aggressions that are going to be happening. Because I got a buddy who the state he lives in has sports betting, and he tells me about it all the time.
So you're
people scrapping at the BP, because you can do that here.
Well, don't they do that in lottery?
You know what I'm saying? Good. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, don't they do the same thing on lottery? The lotteries are like that too, right?
I don't play the lottery. I don't know.
No,
I'm not one of those.
But the lottery
15,
lines are
30,
like. Sorry about
45.
that. The lottery lines in Ohio are the same way, man. They go to these places and the lines are wrapped around the buildings and stuff. I mean, what's the difference between going into? You saying don't go into Kroger's and do your sports betting because of the lines? That's what you're saying.
The lines, not just the lines, the energy.
Oh, okay.
And plus It's not going to be safe. Your best bet is to go to the casinos and do that. Like you were saying earlier about.
Uh-oh, you cut out, bro. You cut out on us, Fame. Fame cut out on us. Sorry, Fame, I lost you, bro. I don't know what was going on. But what I think he was saying is on the sports betting tip, not to go to like Kroger's and places like that. I don't know what's the difference with sports betting. He's saying the energy. And I don't think I would want to go bet unless I have my slip made out already and I just give it to him like a lottery. I don't play the lottery either, except for when it's $1 billion. We can go play that. But the lottery is not on my list to go to every day. I don't do that. But he mentioned something about the sports betting. I still think that we economically, brothers and sisters, whoever you are, we have an opportunity. I'm not into sports betting, okay? I don't really bet sports, but if you know about it and if you've been participating on it, it's going to be tough to compete in that market because of all the digital space out there, the online and all that. But if you feel like it's something that's up your alley, I would go ahead and get into it. It might not be a bad investment. And the reason why I say that is because if you sell $10,000 worth of bets and somebody comes at you with a $15,000 ticket, now you can turn them away and tell them to go cash it at Kroger's or another betting facility. Now that's a brand new ball game for small entrepreneurs. That's a new ball game. And if I didn't feel, and I'm just gonna give you guys an inside tip of me, of how I feel about this. I'm okay with sports gambling. I'm okay with gambling, period, as long as you got a control over it, especially on the business end of it. If you're the house, I'm about that. I'm about you being the house. Here's my thing, though. What about the Great Reset? Own nothing and be happy. Well, here's an opportunity. I don't know exactly what you meant by that, Roz, but I hear you. He said, what about the Great Reset? Own nothing and be happy. Well, I think in sports betting, this allows you. You're never going to own any of the moneymaker. You're never going to own the basketball teams, the baseball teams. You're never going to own any of those. Here's what I would say to you on that. Don't look to own it. Look to get your money up so you can go do something that you do own. Unless that's what you want to do for the rest of your life and you feel content with it. I would say if you can make $200,000 a year running a betting house, why not do that for the next 2-3 years, maybe 5 years? Get your money up and then put your name on the side of a building out there that you want to do. Sometimes we have to work slow to get our capital. It don't mean it's going to come easy. It don't mean bank loans. Sometimes what you have to do is do things that you have to do until you can do what you want to do. And if you run in a gambling house for sports betting, which could probably be fun for people that are into sports, why not get your money up doing that? Get your money up. I had a problem with the sports betting game. And the only reason why I had a problem with it was simply because it was cutting the low end. It was cutting the low people out. It was cutting the minorities out. It was cutting the low people out, just like the marijuana game. Everybody talking about, and it was a ton of black people, and it was being sold by a lot of black people. And that was, once we start getting weed legalized, I don't know if we was happy that it was becoming legal so we can smoke it or we can sell it. It blew me away because I was trying to figure out how black folks thought that they were going to be part of the lion's share of the economic process of the weed game. I'm trying to figure, I still to this day don't understand why you was under this false pretense that once the government got in and started spreading out licensing, how that was going to benefit us. Let's be honest. You was probably more amped up if it being legal so you could smoke the shit. Because show me a pioneer of the weed game that's black. I know I got a friend of mine, Freeway Ricky Ross. He actually owns a brand of weed and he competes every day, and it's a grind for him. It's a grind for Ricky every day. He'll tell you, man, I'm in Boston this week. I'm trying to get them stores to carry my brand. He out here grinding. Meanwhile, you got all these croppers who the government issued licensing. Sorry about that, Fame. He said, sorry, why I call drop. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, bro. But they didn't live out in California. All this land that they've licensed for cropping of marijuana. Where are the black people in that? And we was the main cheerleaders. Oh yeah, this shit about to be dope. I even heard a guy, and I gotta say this shit because I wouldn't be me if I don't say this. Hold on. He ain't gonna like me saying this shit. He ain't gonna like me saying this. But I seen a guy, a brother, politician. I'm gonna address that, yo, Underwood. He said less jail time for what you can carry, Wyatt. I'm gonna just say this to you. That's true. But I had a brother that was on city council who disappointed me by saying that legalizing weed was good for the black community in the city of Cincinnati. It hurt my heart to hear him say that because I knew that he was getting something out of going that route. I knew he was trying to benefit his career, making moves with people that would be on his side, maybe contribute money to his campaign, do things like that. It was never about what was really good for black people, because here you brought up these statistics of how weed in the city of Cincinnati and Hamilton County was a disproportionate rate of sending people to jail and fines and all this old shit. You never brought those. Who remember me saying this? You never brought those stats up when we were going to jail. You only brought those stats up when it was time for you to benefit off of it becoming legal. Do you understand what I'm saying to y'all? And I was the only one who said this. I very seldom criticize this brother, but this is true of what happened. I said, why all of a sudden you got this motherfucking notepad of shit about how weed has been something that's been bad for black people in the city, in the justice system, excuse me. You've been knowing this for years. And now all of a sudden you want to blow your dusty ass book off and then bring the stats up. Y'all know black folks in Cincinnati was 4 times more likely to get arrested with a marijuana charge than white people were. And then soon as all the dispensaries opened up with medical cards in Lebanon and all these other places, you had white folks wrapped around the motherfucking building to buy weed. So how is it why did so many black people catch so many marijuana charges? But yet when they open up the dispensaries owned by whites, the line was wrapped around the building for white people getting weed, man. Why? Some say because black folks stood outside and smoked weed on the block, on the corner. That's a valid point. You just don't see white folks down on Lynn Street smoking a blunt. You just don't see that. You don't see, you just don't see that. So there's some parallels. There's some reasons why you do see certain things. But what upset me more than anything is here this politician is now trying to convince Ohioans to vote a certain way. And he uses the black card by saying this law will better black people and keep us out of the justice center, keep us out of being locked up. But you've known this information. You didn't went all the way back to 2005. This was like 3 years ago. Put it like this. Wyatt Live was in existence. I've only been here since March of 2020. So this had to be of 2020 when this law went in effect, because I was talking about it. I said, why is this politician all of a sudden caring so much about black folks when that data has been available for him? But now it only matters when that politician can benefit by getting this law passed. Who did he get it passed for? How many people do you know? Now we're talking about the entire state of Ohio. How many people do you know that look like you that has a license to manufacture, distribute, retail marijuana? How many people do you know? I ain't talking about Lil Ricky and them on the block. I'm talking about that's getting the W-9s as an independent weed contractor. How many people do you know who's doing it legitimately? Not no right up under the bar of being overweight for catching a case. None of that shit. I'm saying, how many do you know that's doing it legally? Yo Underwood says they smoke their bonds in the basement in them bars. Why? Yeah, I know. Kind of hard to catch a case in the bar, in the basement of a bar. It's a little hard to catch a case out there, but you know us, bro. Come on, man. Let's be honest. All my OGs had a 40 and a blunt. It was a joint back when I was a little dude, but it ain't nothing changed, bro. Nothing's changed. Motherfucker be out on the block smoking a joint, bro. You can't even walk. Listen, man. There's some places in certain areas that you can't even walk around. It ain't even got to be nobody around. You just be like, damn, bro, ain't nobody even around here and I smell weed. Somebody must have just blazed one up. Nobody around. But it's so much weed going on in those areas all the time that it just smell like that. Some people smoke so much weed, it's in their clothes. It's just in their clothes. And cigarettes too. I can't stand that. I'm so sensitive to smoke, to that nicotine in the smoke, that even when somebody smoked a cigarette, I can smell it on them, and it get all in my mouth, it get in my mouth, my nose, and all that old shit. I'm real sensitive to it. And keep in mind, I'm the little boy my mama sent to the store. Started out with a note, and then I had memorized what it is my mama wanted. We all had to go to the store. My mama always wanted a long Pepsi in the bottle. She'll let me have one taste, one little sip, and I walk my ass all the way up to Swartz or GJ's or Harry's downtown. Who remember that? You got to be from down the way to know what Harry's is. Mama's Cookies, Harry's. Best bologna in the world. Shit, they don't make it like that no more. But anyway, let me just say this to you. My mama would send me to the store to get her Virginia Slim with menthols, the green pack. And don't get it wrong, boy. Don't get it wrong. I'm going to send your ass back up there. You may smoke cigarettes up. But how many of us own these places? And we vouched for it. I had a politician say it. Came on black radio, went down on the white radio. Yeah, saying this shit, talking about how disproportionated we were in the African-American community with these weed laws. Man, that content, that data been out for years. Now all of a sudden you want to bring it to the table when you're trying to get some shit passed, and it was going to put you in good faith with the people that you need to pass from. That's how they play us. That's when your vote matter. So all these people that be talking, y'all be hard on people that say they don't vote. I don't get mad at people that don't vote. I don't get mad at it. I'd rather have somebody not vote. Y'all gonna say, oh, this nigga, he crazy. I'd rather have somebody vote than be in the way. If they don't want to vote, that means they can't get mad at whatever policy come their way, right? They can't get mad if they don't vote, they can't get mad at whatever go on out there. Can't say shit about it. But I'd rather have somebody not vote than to just be doing some Cardi B shit. Listening to somebody like Cardi B, getting us in a world of trouble. And now listen to what Cardi B is talking about when she was talking about vote this, vote that, vote for Joe Biden. He gonna lower your taxes. Let me ask somebody right now, based on what Cardi B said, has anybody listening to this platform, by the show of hands or a yay or a nay, has anybody's taxes gone down? Has anybody's taxes gone down? What else did she cap on? See, the devil is no good without warriors. As long as the devil can recruit, He'll always be around. Always be around. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it didn't take Biden to give her any money. It take popularity. Popularity. That's how you sell tours. When people love you, they visit your brand. Biden may not have given her no money. I never suggested that. I never suggested that Cardi B got a dime from Biden administration. What she got was an opportunity to be a spokesperson, stand in front of people, and while they down in one other person, she was looking like a hero by being on everybody's team. So you just gonna love her. See how that shit backfired? You see, I asked my daughter about Cardi B the other day, my youngest, 17-year-old. I was like, hey, you heard about that Cardi B thing? She was like, yeah, daddy, you hear what they said? My daughter don't watch the show. She don't hear me. She don't know my opinion about Cardi B. But I did ask her, I said, you heard about that thing with Cardi B? She was like, yeah, people tripping out on her on TikTok. And they saying, man, daddy, they saying she like a hypocrite. Now she talking about all this and talking about how she helping her family out with bills and all this old shit. That ain't how she said it, but that's what she was saying. I was like, see, I ain't even say nothing. I walked off. I said, I can't wait for the Wyatt Live show so I can go in on Cardi B crazy ass. More so, I was interested in making not fun of the people, but I definitely had something on my mind of the people who was tripping on what Cardi B was saying, like she had some politics. She ain't had no politics. Okay, they do politic in the strip club. Who going on first and who going on last? Everybody know that the stripper on the first of the night the first, the one on the pole the first, don't make nearly as much as the last act. So yeah, it is politics in the strip club too. So people gonna hate me for that shit. But that's the truth. That's the only politicking she had. Other than fleecing dudes, yeah, okay. She do got some politics in her. She got a lot of game in her. So y'all get mad at me if you want to about how I might take on Cardi B, but don't ever say I didn't tell you so. I told y'all a year ago. Let me see here. DC said something that I wanted to address. He said something about the church, Damon Lynch's, I think. He said, hold on. And then I seen another one. He said, I've been to Damon Lynch's marijuana medical marijuana dispensary because of my wife medical marijuana card due to her cancer, and that's set up like going to visit someone at Justice Center. Okay, so we all know, and God bless your wife. Really, I mean that. My mom has gone through this situation with the cancer thing. My sister-in-law. So I understand that, and it's a delicate thing for me because of my mother. People know me. They know what I was going through a little while ago with my mom. They know about that. So it's a sensitive space for me when we talk about cancer and stuff to that nature. But let me just say this. Damon Lynch was one of those brothers that was blessed with it. But he was also a vocal leader in the community at that time now, wasn't he? That's not a shot. Some of y'all can't wait to hear somebody say something smart or whatever. What I'm saying to you is, who do they go after when it's time to get some shit approved for the mass of people? They usually let one or two of us in, right? And it's usually somebody that can either make a bunch of noise or can keep people really quiet. Now, I know y'all motherfuckers know what I'm talking about. You either gonna make a lot of noise, or you either gonna be like, now, folks. Now, folks. So y'all take that wherever you want to take it. It's not a shot at anybody. It's just being honest and telling you how people move out here. Yeah, we'll let one come through, but out of 25 licenses, we might have to let one. So what better one to let through is somebody that could be like, hey, y'all. Now, y'all might think I'm wrong for that or whatever, but that's the truth. Hey, good evening, caller. May I ask who's calling?
Hey, what's up, Mr. Wide and CK, man?
CK, what's good with you, brother? Long time no talk to. Where you been hiding?
Man, just calling to show support to the organization, man. I want to congratulate you on all your success professionally, you know what I mean, with the family and how you helping out Cincinnati, man. We real proud of you, man, out here in Cincinnati, man. You out here touching the people, man. And I only been knowing you 3 months, and, you know,
through social media or whatever, but you making powerful strides, man, and it's all positivity, man. I just got to call it and tell you to keep up the good fight, man, because us Cincinnatians, man, we proud of your work, man.
Well, thank you.
It ain't words, it's actions. You know what I mean? We can see. We can see. We don't have to listen. We can see.
I thank you. I thank you very much,
Yes,
brother.
sir.
I mean, you know, it's
Yes,
it's a struggle, but it's one of them type of struggles where, you know what, if you're trying to be the best basketball player, it shouldn't be no work to go to the gym and work on it. So if you want to be the best person you can be, it shouldn't be hard, because being CK, I lost CK. It's not just me. I'm speaking in general for everybody. We make things harder than they really should be. If it's hard to be a good person, if it's hard to do the right thing, then you really don't want to be that. It's not hard to do the right thing. I mean, that might not come across the right way. I'm not saying that you got to be Mr. Goodbar. I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying if trying to strive and be the best at something and stand forward with it, if that's hard for you to do, then it might not be for you. Like if you want to start your own business, if you want to start your own business, but it's a hard thing for you to do, like you just can't never find the time, or you just having a hard time going out trying to figure out what you want to do. Listen, if it ain't there for you, then it probably ain't meant for you. That sound hard. It sound cold. But the people that know what they want and have put forth the effort and keep going, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to tell you that if you're a procrastinator towards what you're trying to do in life, then it ain't really it ain't for you. It's not. You're fooling yourself. Stop. That don't mean that something great is not meant for you. That don't mean you can't be great at something, but you're never going to be great at what you procrastinate at. It ain't meant for you. You don't love it enough. You don't. If you loved it, you would do it. You would stick at it. You would keep doing it. You would do it till the wheels fall off. But the reason why you don't keep going, or the reason you never started up, is because you really don't have a passion for it. Your passion is you're passionate about doing something, but you just ain't found that right thing to do yet. Ain't no problem with that. Listen, that's not a criticism. That's not a criticism. That's a critique that you should take with you. And you should put it on your forefront. You should say to yourself, like, damn, he might be right. I want to open up a store, but I keep finding reasons why I can't do it. I find more reasons why I can't open up my store than I find reasons of why I should. Then that mean that store is not for you. Because people that go out and do it and stick at it and get it, they figure out a way to make it work. It could fail. But there's no such thing as failure. There's only lessons. I've never lost. The L don't stand for loss. The L is for learning. So when you hear me say things like that, don't think I'm some subdiddy ass little dude. I can't say little dude no more. I ain't little Randy. But I'm just saying, I'm not some sedity ass Negro trying to tell people that's not my move. I failed more than I ever gained in my life. It's just when shit get good, it really get good. And look for those days. But it's never going to get good if you don't commit yourself and keep going forward and really dig deep in the ground and stand your ground and say, I'm going to be the best at this. I'm going to do this. Say I'm going to be the best at this. Because doing it is the easy part. You just don't know it yet. You don't want to hear this, but I'm about to drop something on you that's very, very true. Let's take it out of business. I know everybody loves me sometimes to talk about the business aspects. But let me just say this to you. Getting a nice home, a nice car, and those nice things are not hard to do. Everybody with the wave, everybody that's listening to me on whatever device you own right now, either has it, had it, or will get it. Those that have not gotten it yet, this is my message to you. The fun part, the easy part is to get it. All right? To go get that home, you can get it. When I say the word easy, I'm only using the word easy because of what my bottom line of this conversation is. And that is this. Everything's more accessible. Everything's easier to get. The hard part is maintaining it. You can go get a nice car. They might even give you an affordable payment that you never thought you can even. I never thought I can get that big wheel ass car. I never thought I can get a 2-door sedan drop top. I never knew. And it's $735 a month. Where I sign it? Give it here. But after you done made 6 months of those payments, you start saying to yourself, yeah, damn. After you done had it for a year, you start saying to yourself, yeah, you know, shit. I got this motherfucker, but damn. The hardest thing in the world is not getting something. It's maintaining it. Let me tell you. Who was that had that? Oh, Evander Holyfield. Y'all know Rick Ross got his house now. Shit, he was making $20 million a fight. He bought a $25 million mansion that Rick Ross bought for like $11 million. Maybe even less than that. My whole point is he bought a $25 million house that was no problem at one time, but he didn't know he had $17,000 a month in landscaping. He didn't know that the cable bill in that big ass house that had them TVs all over the place, all this and this and that, all the shit that we take for granted and we think, oh shit, our cable bill is $79. Well, his shit was $900 a month. Swimming pools, I know a little something about that. I always wanted a swimming pool. Never knew how much it cost to maintain it. It cost me $300 a year to fill it up. Never knew that shit. Well, I've had it for a while now. I've learned. But I never knew it cost so much to keep the pH levels up on that month. I just never knew. I know now. So let me just say this to you, folks. And I mean this with all due sincerity. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. And I mean it with love. I truly do. If it's something that you want out here, go get it. You can get it. But just be ready to maintain it. And if you're not even at the level of going to get it, then it ain't really meant for you. Because if you never go get it, that means you ain't got the passion for it. But if you had a passion to go get it, then you better have that same passion and that same energy to be able to maintain it. You got to have that. With that being said, that's my time. Peace and love to everybody. If I missed you, my apologies. Nothing but love to everybody, man. This is Wyatt. See you tomorrow. Wait a minute. Tomorrow is what? Friday. I'm not here tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see you guys on Monday. Nothing but love.
Bigger, better, petty, don't matter. Far as that tattle, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been in prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pending. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player male. Say, what you talking that funky. About my face, wearing that monkey. Not that might give you life advice. Get some money. Peace. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a call NASCAR. Solo, no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after.
You know what? I forgot something. Anybody still here with me? Every once in a while I do this. I forget something. I forget something. Anybody still here with me? Or did y'all leave? Did y'all cut out and didn't want to hear the ending? Quick question. Quick thing. Quick thing. Y'all still here? No, they left. Y'all left? Okay. Maybe I'll do it on the next one. Maybe I'll say it on the next one. Somebody says still here. Okay, I'll say this now because Jenny, these are my people that really, really, really rock with me, and they like that talk. They like when I start talking about shit about money and things of that nature. So let me share this with you. Let me share this with you because this is something that came up in my life. This is something that came up. Y'all know that I'm a capital adventurous. I'm the type of person that invests in people and businesses and things of that nature. Okay. Let me say this for those that may be listening who may get in a situation where they're you need to hear this. Entrepreneurs, when you hear people saying know your worth, when you hear people saying know your worth, don't fall for that bullshit of I'm not going to ever do something less than my value. There's no such thing when you're an entrepreneur. Okay. When you have a dream, you have no standard of what you got to make. Just make the shit happen. When somebody wants to invest in you, you have to weigh it for what it really is. Okay. Don't think that everybody's trying to take advantage of you. And sometimes you got to do the Kanye thing and use other platforms such as Adidas, Gap, to propel what you're trying to do in life. Okay. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. I was going to invest in someone as a partnership. And I'm not mentioning any names or any situations or what it was even about. I'm just going to use this because I don't want anybody thinking that I'm trying to exploit or say some bad shit about somebody or something. But here's the thing. I don't want to say we fell out. I don't want to say we fell out. But I will say this, it didn't work out. And when somebody tells you, I know my value, make sure as an investor, your value is only worth, let me back a little bit. If you think that you're worth $100,000, this is not the real numbers. I'm just giving you some numbers. If you feel your value is $100,000 and you feel you worth $100,000 to me, you want me to invest in you and bring $100,000 to the table, you have to be at work. You have to be at least worth $50,000 in business. Anybody understand what I'm saying? Do y'all get it? So for those that think that they're valued way more than what somebody may hit you with, the first thing you have to do is evaluate how much money do you actually generate. You get it? So if you come to me and we work something out and it's like you get 100,000 in property capital, okay, in capital, whether it's equipment, money, start, whatever it may be. As an investor, you have to be at least at a 50% return on that money. You have to be at least worth 50% of that, which would be $50,000. Y'all get what I'm saying? Why would I invest in somebody that's not bringing any return? You can't think that you're the only return. You can't feel like that's being arrogant. You can't say to an investor, you're getting me. They don't want to hear that shit. They want to, if you think you're that special, then explain to the person, not only are they getting you, but they're bringing $50,000 worth of business with them. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So if you come to me and say, we're going to do this business thing together, I need 100,000 to make this happen. I got to look at you and I got to say, but you're bringing 50,000 worth of invoices or business to the table. Do you get what I'm saying? So let's say Roz says I need 100%. He say I need 100. Roz say I need $100,000, and I say, okay, what's the business and what we doing? Roz, Think about it. Think about what I need from you is not just you being Roz. I need to know, how is Roz worth at least 50% of what you're asking for? So if you're asking, if you're asking for 100,000, you got to be able to show me you got $50,000 worth of business that you generating right now. Does that make sense? That's my standard. Some are 30 or 40%. Some might say you got to be bringing 30 or 40,000 money to the table. But don't get caught up in thinking that you're more valuable than what you really are. Don't ever do that, because what happens is people lose by thinking that they're more valuable than they truly are. That's not an insult. That's me giving you a heads up of how people who might have an upper hand on us feel, because nobody's in business to just give money away. So you got to understand, you got to up your value in real stuff. You're not always the investment. You being an investment, you have to bring something other than yourself to the table. I hope y'all understand. And I just wanted to put that lesson out there, because some people overvalue themselves by thinking, I'm such and such, I do such and such. Well, how much money do you generate being who you are? Because I'm more interested in what our return will be, not necessarily who you are. Peace and love to everybody.
Bigger, better, petty, don't matter. Far as the teller, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey. Not that might give you life advice. Get some money, 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 get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster than a call NASCAR. My solo, no sir, I am not a passer. I will not after any of you fever blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I work a plan now. Can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky, get about my face. Wearing that monkey. Not that might give you life advice. Get some money, get some money, get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money. Get some money, 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 get some money.
Go get some money. I say get some money. Go get some money.